problems associated with system of equations. So yeah, so let's get straight into it. So the first question is dealing with age, right? And after this, we're just going to we're looking at this current problem right now, and after this one, we will talk about how to solve it in general. So anyone wants to share like your thoughts on this question? So, for this question, Ben is for
Isn't it Ben as y and then as Han as x, and then 4y equals x, and then y equals x plus 6?
How do I add it on this? Oh my god. Yeah. So as Tim is suggesting, yo, I can't click on editing. What the hell?
My brain is as big Big Chungus' belly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that works for now. Yeah. So as how do you have the how do you draw again? Oh yeah, sorry. Oh here, sorry. Oh, dang. Yeah. Sorry guys. Sorry. So as Tim was suggesting, sorry, you're suggesting is him equals to y, right?
X.
X. Oh, sorry. I equals to x. Then Ben is 4x. Was that what I said? Or y? Sorry, can you repeat that again? I was kind of lost. I was trying to figure out how that was.
Yeah, Tim, can you say it again? It's calling for Tim.
I think he's dead for good.
I think Tim is mad at me or something.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tim.
He's throwing a little attention at you.
Alright, yeah. So then you have Ben as 4x. Okay. Ben equals to 4x. And then you also know that 4x minus x equals to 6. And then you solve for x. Okay. X equals to 2. Right? When you have x equals to 2, you plug in back to the thing. And you have this guy equals to 2 and this guy is 8. So that is a very basic word equations dealing with ages. Right? I think everyone knows how to do it. Right? So then next we're going to talk about how to solve a word problem in general. Yeah. First step, define all the variables. Right? So looking back to this problem, you have Ben equals to 4x. This guy equals to x. Right? This is how you define all the variables. And write the equations described by the problem, which is 4x minus x equals to 6. And then solve the equations. This gives you 3x equals to 6. And then finally you solve for this. You have x equals to 2. Therefore, you plug this number back into the original setup. So you have x equals to 2 and 4x equals to 8. And the thing I want to say is that always be aware of what are you solving. What number are you trying to get? So say, for example, if you have 2 and then the question is asking how old is Ben, so you have to plug 2 back into the equation 4x, right? So you get 8. Right? So always look for what the question is asking, and then also be clear about what number are you trying to get eventually. All right, so then with this steps, right? Define all the variables, write the equations described by the problem. I'm pretty sure I was checking the homework that was assigned by Alex last session. It kind of incorporates some of those word problems. So I think you guys are already kind of familiar with that. So with that, we're just going to jump into the next question, which is more challenging. Okay. So I will give you guys about 3 minutes. I mean, 3 or 2 minutes to think about it, and then I will randomly select one person to talk about. Yeah. So currently it's 10:48, and then we're going to give you guys about 2 minutes. Think about it.
Wait, so you got this from Khan Academy?
Good observation.
Oh yeah, Khan Academy is. I just want to say Khan Academy is a very good source. Yeah.
Because Sal is the founder of Khan Academy.
Oh,
Yes.
I actually don't know that. Wait, is
What?
like
Oh, Matthew, you got it wrong. It's South Khan because he used his last name
Seriously.
for the name.
oh,
So,
I thought his name was just Kong. Oh my god.
imagine not having a last name. Imagine.
Oh dang. Is he Indian? Oh, sorry, I'm just.
No, he's American, I think.
Oh, I think he went to MIT, right?
He's born in India, right? I think he's born in India.
No, I was talking about ethnicity. I mean, like, where's
What?
ethnicity means like your where is your like your family from, like according to your
Yeah,
skin.
that's what
He was
I'm
born in the U.S.
saying.
Okay.
Well, then his family is probably like Indian.
He was born from the U.S.
All right, stop arguing.
Let's focus more on the solving the question part.
Yeah.
He went to Harvard.
No, MIT.
Yeah, I was sure.
Harvard Business, something like that.
Maybe there, so.
I heard of the news about him. It was like it was like Bill Gates or something trying to offer him with like tons of money, and I forgot what it was. And like he's like I'm not like charging students with like money and something.
He went to MIT in 1998.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's a lot of research for Khan Academy. Let's do more research for this question that Tan gave out. Okay?
Yes.
Too much thinking for that.
All right, so 1 more minute. Till 10:52. Oh yeah, time. By the way, do you guys find this easier than the Venn diagram and arithmetic sequence, like that kind of stuff? The thing we did before.
Yes.
Nope.
Who's speaking? What? So,
I feel like Venn diagram slightly easier.
okay. Well, I mean, it's different for everyone. Like, everyone has like their strength. And, okay. All right. So, yeah, I'm going to randomly select a person. Can you guys see the wheel?
No, I think you're sharing your Discord screen, and not your just go to a screen, right? Go to like change screen, right?
There's only
and go into like
there's only
don't go
the
into app. Don't go you see at the top. You click the screen, not app.
Screen?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, in screen, that one?
Yeah.
Oh, dang, oh no. Some new.
You might want to make sure your desktop is ready for presentation.
Oh,
Yes, can. What? It's ready, right?
oh yeah. There's, yeah, everything is appropriate, but you guys are eventually gonna know what I'm saying. So it's yeah. So can you guys see it right now?
Let's look at the tabs.
It better not be me.
I can see it.
So
Oh yeah.
Realofnames.com.
everyone, yes. So is everyone?
Self-explanatory.
Yeah. Click to spin.
Oh,
Oh,
who will it be? Let's see. Oh, Matthew or Ryan? Matthew?
Matthew
It's
is
Matthew.
Matthew, do you know how to do the question?
yeah. Matthew is the Khan Academy guy.
Yeah, I thought you were the Khan Academy guy.
All right. So Matthew, do you want to share about how to approach this problem?
Nope.
Well, you're gonna share it anyway.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you know everything about Khan Academy.
I'm calling 911 though. Honestly. Hello 911. There's a student that's not actively in court, being willing to collaborate with his teacher or something. All right. So do you want to share about it with you?
I think you plus 9. No. Wait.
Do you
No.
want to do it according to the steps? Define all the variables, write the equation described by the problem, and then solve the equations?
Okay, so, and then, wait, I have no idea.
Oh, I mean, just some random thoughts and like how to do this problem. And,
No idea.
actually, no idea. Are you or
I suck at these problems.
okay? I thought you were going to MIT though, man. And you were looking at who's this guy? Khan is like a role model or something. Okay. All right, then I'm gonna skip to the next person. Oh my god. Okay, Peyton.
Aiden.
You wanna talk?
Dude, you gotta turn off the clapping sound effects somehow, man. This stuff is.
Turn off the sound, it's so loud. And then
Yeah.
every time
Wait
you
a minute.
spin it, it makes
If
it like
Peyton's the winner,
like ticking
doesn't he
sound.
get to choose who to do it?
Oh.
When he chooses?
How do you turn it off though? I'm not.
Just do later.
how it
Well, we're
works?
gonna waste more time teaching you how to use technology.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So Peyton, do you want to speak about this question?
Which question?
This question, the one you've been devoting your time for, the one you've been waiting on the stage, right? Or you'll be shining on the stage.
And every time you put like your Discord on, like yeah, hi.
Oh, so I'll just not switch back to it. So I'll just put on this.
So Peyton.
This question.
Which? I can't see that.
Um.
From now on, can we do like the winner get to choose who do the question?
Well, it's kind of like
Please.
violation of human rights, so I don't know. I'm on the
Please.
police might detain me for this. I don't know.
I
will.
can't see the question. I can't see the question.
Actually, you can. Am I showing it?
Yeah. Are you watching? Are you guys watching his stream?
Yes, you are.
Khan solves the following age problem. Arman is 18. Dia is 2. How many years will it take for Arman to be 3 times as old as Dia? That's the question.
Try to full screen your PowerPoint app.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it clear right now?
There you go. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And I click presentation mode.
Presentation.
No, but then he cannot write on it.
True.
Oh, I think I can though. Slideshow. Right? Play from current. Yeah, I think I still
You
can.
can write it, yeah.
Highlighter.
Highlighter. Okay.
Are you using highlighter?
Oh, pen. Sorry, pen. Wait.
I don't think he knows the difference.
Oh, stop insulting me. This is not the funny. I mean, oh yeah, man. I figured it out. I'm going to the Silicon Valley or something to do this. All right, so Peyton, do you want to share about this, your thoughts about this problem? So remember the first step, define all your variables. Second step, do the set up the equation, and third step, solve the equation. Maybe I'll introduce the fourth step as well, is uh, to focus on what the question is asking and then plugging the numbers back into the equation.
I don't know.
You don't want to try about this?
Uh,
I mean, there's nothing shameful.
I don't know. I don't.
So first step is define variables, right? Which is like x or y.
Next one. Is it homework?
No, it's not homework. It's the new lesson we're doing today.
New license.
So what is your what do you want to find? Maybe that could be your variable. What do you want to find?
Yo, how does eraser doesn't work?
I think it.
Yeah, because in presentation mode.
Huh.
Doesn't work as well.
Essentially, if you don't know what something like, if it's asking you like how many years would it take Armin to be 3 times as old as Dia, right? You want to figure out, right, essentially how many years it will take Armin to be, right? It's asking you how many years, right? So and then, but you do have two unknown, which is Armin's age, and Dia, currently. So, here's the thing, right? You start off with Armin's 18 and Dia's 2, right? It says essentially it says asking you how many years will it take Armin to be 3 times as old as Dia. Well, you know that Armin and Dia, they age at the same time, right? So you're trying to figure out how many years. You're trying to figure out how many years. That amount of years is same for both Armin and Dia, right? If you think about it, it's just like Armin and Dia are in a race and they move at the same speed, right? But they, how long does it take for, I don't know, Armin to be as 3 times further than Dia? It's kind of like that, essentially, because time, right? Time doesn't change, right? Like, let's say 1 year passes, Armin will be 19, Dia will be 3. 2 year passes, Armin will be 20, Dia will be 4, right? Eventually, that will keep going until the number representing Armin's age would be 3 times the number representing Dia's age, and during both the progression of Dia and Armin's ages, right? One thing is the same. One thing is the same between these two is how much they've aged since they were 18 and 2.
Yeah. So thanks for Alex hints. So right now we have drawn the diagram for this.
I still don't know.
Can everyone see that, the diagram?
Yeah.
All right. So do you guys kind of understand what I'm drawing here?
I think so. I think. Wait, is it like there's P's, like the boxes, and like there's P and then A, and then P is gonna be no Armand's gonna be like 9 times bigger, and then something like that. I don't know.
Actually, so currently we have this diagram, right? What do you guys think this diagram represents? Anyone wants to speak for this? Since we're solving for this question, right? So the diagram is like corresponding to the question, right? But what do you think this diagram really represents? Oh, by the way, this is the same. This part, I use a highlighter.
You probably want to use a highlighter to highlight both segments.
Yeah, this part, the yellow segments are the same.
And you know,
Ultimate.
for Dia, right, the original little arrow plus the highlighted arrow, right, is 1/3 of Armin's big arrow plus the highlighted arrow.
Oh yeah, I was trying to let them figure out like that.
Yeah, but yeah.
If anyone, like if no one wants to speak, then I will talk about this. 5 seconds. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So according to this diagram, this actually tells us about the age. The length of the line tells us about the age because we're just trying to solve for the age. I mean, we already know the age, but we still have to draw it. And according to the given, we always have to focus on the given conditions. What are the given conditions? Arman is 18, right? So we know that this line segment is going to be 18, right? And then what other conditions do we know? We know that Dia is 2 years old, and Dia is here. The length of this segment is 2. What else do we want to know? Okay, so how many years will it take for Arman to be 3 times as old as Dia? Okay. So in this case, where do you think the 3 comes from? Or how do you think the 3 is presented in this diagram? No one knows. Right. So you have right. So imagine here's like Dia is currently 2-year-old, right? Armin's 18. How old will they be after 1 year?
Armand's 19, Dia's 3.
19, Dia's 3, right? Okay. What about 2 years after?
20 and 5.
20 and 5?
20 and 4, I mean.
Oh, okay, that's very nice math. Okay, what about 3 years after? I mean,
21 and 5.
yeah. So anyone beside Matthew that will not be able to solve this kind of problem? I mean, this kind of questions? Okay. What do you guys kind of notice between the relationship between those two numbers?
Wait, can't you just draw a graph?
Oh,
Like-
you mean like a table and like right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that
just
way.
do.
But yeah, we can do both way actually. Oh, yeah, we can do both way actually.
That's what I did.
Okay. Yeah, so we are going to basically solve that in terms of 2 ways. What is that? The hell? What? What is it? Sorry. What is it? Is this oh,
You got subtitles.
sorry, I'm like your granny in terms of like technology.
Oh, my grandma's good at technology. What do you mean?
Now, this is supposed to be the old grandpa.
Okay,
That knows,
this is
knows
very nice.
absolutely nothing.
This is a very nice comparison. Okay, so we have the
I know,
tables
right?
as Ryan has suggested. So on the left side, we have the age for Dia. D. Let's call him D. Let's call her D. And on the right side, we have Armin. A. And this represents how many years? I'm not even sure. Okay. So first, so for the first thing, you always have to have the initial age, which is by the way, this is a really good method. If you don't have like, if you don't really know how to solve the problem, and you can just simply draw a table and trying to figure out what's like the relationship between the numbers, and then further discover about the core of this problem. First, you have Dia sitting at 2, Armin 18, and then 3 19, and then 4 20, right? And then 5 maybe 21, 6 22, 7 23, 8 24, right? Do you guys see the answer already?
24 and 8.
Yeah, but beside that, what do you guys also notice between those numbers, relationship between numbers?
Nothing.
You guys, if you look at the difference between D,
A equals D plus 16.
A equals to D plus 16. This is a very good observation.
yeah. Are there any other observations that you guys see between 218, 319, 420? You know,
Oh, also, Ryan, do you want to explain why this happened? Why is A equals to D plus 16?
Because when D is 2, plus 16 equals 18, and then when D is 3, U plus 16 is 19.
I mean, how does that apply in the real scenario? Like yeah, in terms of like age.
Because it is. Like each year, both of them adds 1, so it's basically
Yeah,
liquid.
that's a universal condition, right? So like everyone's getting older at the same pace, right?
yeah, like if Dan's 2 years younger than me, right? For example, right? 1 year passes. Let's say he's 12 and I'm 15, like I don't know, 14, whatever. For example, 1 year passes, I'll be 15, but he'll be 13. The difference between us is 2. That 2 is constant. It doesn't change.
Yeah.
Essentially.
So that's also a very important thing to focus on is the pace, right? So it's 218, 319. The pace remains as a constant, which means everyone is getting older at the same pace. I mean, it might look different on the appearance. Like someone looks really old, someone looks really young. But eventually, when you um, really calculate the age, is staying the same. I mean, difference. What is the other observation I would say is like more important? I would say, as Matthew has mentioned, when Arman is like 9 times as old as Dia at the beginning, and eventually it's 3 times as old as Dia. What do you also notice about this relationship? Initially it was 9, currently it's 3. What do you guys kind of notice for this one? Anyone? Dude, why are you guys so silent today? Didn't you guys say it's not really hard compared to the past?
Venn diagram is easier, probably.
Easier than this, actually?
Some Venn diagram's more straightforward, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Because when we talk about this, it's the core of that is actually associated kind of with like functions and something else, like a deeper stuff about math. Whereas like Venn diagram on the surface is maybe it might appear as like harder problem, but
This
Alright,
I
what
think
is
is harder
19
than
divided
the
by?
last one.
What was it?
This is like harder, way harder than Venn diagram because like in my diagram we actually learned it like for example like in language arts and
Okay, no problem. It's eventually a process, and you'll get used to it. All right, so where does the 9 come from again? Can anyone tell me where does the 9 come from?
18 divided by 2.
Okay, so what is 19 divided by 3?
19.
Divided by 3. Or you
2
can tell me
something.
approximate number. You don't have to tell me the exact number.
Like 6?
It's
Yes.
strictly larger than 6, right?
6.5.
Can anyone tell me? Yeah, it's maybe around that. Can anyone tell me why is that strictly larger than 6?
Because 18 divided by 3 equals 6, and 19 is larger than 3.
Yes.
And
So,
19 is larger than 18, so it has to be greater than 6.
okay, so do you want to continue with the same process we're doing for this column? I mean this row.
And then 20 divided by 4 equals 5. 21 divided by 5 is greater than 4.
Yes.
Oh, I think it's as you get larger, then like when you divide it, it's getting smaller.
Yes. It's decreasing, right? It's strictly decreasing. Yes. Maybe I won't really. I don't think this is something we can understand at the moment. But I mean, the really the math behind why this is decreasing, we can talk about that in the later classes. But we also notice that this is decreasing, right? So say if I change the problem, Arman is 20 times as old as Dia. Is there going to be a solution for that?
No.
Yes, there should be, I think.
No, but then it has to become 20 divided by 0.
By 1. 20 divided by 1.
Yeah.
No. When you have 20, you have 0 on the right side.
Oh,
I mean,
right, yes.
time is not reversing. We don't have the entropy thing.
This is a okay. Okay.
So we also noticed that before maybe looking at the problem, you have to think about what is the core of the problem. Say if it asks you about how many years will it take for Armin to be 20 times as old as Thea, there's definitely not going to be a solution for that. Okay? So it's not about, so what I want to say here is just not about we are solving this problem, but also understand about what is happening behind this thing, like what is happening with the numbers, right? So not just, oh, I want to do the equation and figure this out, right? So with the table, we eventually got to the point where it's like 8 and 24, right? And this is 3 times. And so this implies it's 6 years after, right? So let's focus on that. That's the first method recommended by Ryan. So I'll give credit to Ryan. That's very nice.
No, Tam, why we recommended a graph, not a table?
Yeah, I'm sure. I said that was recommended by Ryan, not.
Yeah, no, why recommended a graph?
Oh,
That's
graph.
what one. Yeah,
What do you like graph? Like it function
like
graph?
XY graph. That's what you meant, right, Ryan? I think that's what you meant.
I think Ryan meant table.
No, I meant table.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then we're going to look at how you do this with this diagram, the ugly diagram I've drawn, not the table. I mean, it's both ugly. But who cares? So after this, we will call this mathematical exploration. What we have done with the table, because we are kind of like exploring the nature behind this problem. And then now, what are we trying to do is to generalize the solution after we have some clue about how this problem is working. Right? We're not just because like it's not like we're just all like genius or something. Like we just go to the problem and we solve it like straight up. Right? We have to do some mathematical exploration. I mean, even though you're a genius, you might do like it's kind of some universal process. You do the table and you try out the numbers. You discover. Sorry. Yeah, it's kind of like a very universal way of looking at problems. So try numbers. Try numbers and figure out. Number two is this is how you do. This is supposed to be the mathematical exploration when you encounter some problems that are that appear to be unfamiliar with you. So try numbers. Second, trying to figure out relationships. Yeah, like relationship with your girlfriend or something. And then right, according to what? According to the questions, like 18 divided by 9, example. 18 divided by 9, 2 equals to 9. Like at the end, it's going to be 3. And with the given conditions, trying to discover some unobvious relationships like that. It's not something that's obvious because apparently, right, 18 divided by 2, that's 9, like that's 3, right? And that's strictly decreasing, right? That's not something that's apparent and obvious. And then the thing is, even though you don't understand why this is decreasing, but you're discovering this pattern, right? This is not like you discovered the math behind it, but more like you discovered the pattern behind it, right? And then 3, trying to generalize. This is actually what you do with the higher level math as well, is to try numbers. Second, figure out the relationship, and 3, and generalize the solution with the new discovery about the nature, right? Eraser. So like, is everyone able to follow what I'm saying? By the way, does anyone understand what generalize means? What was it? It's kind of that silent. Is my computer glitching?
Huh? What
Does
do you
What was it?
What do you mean generalized?
Yeah, I was like, does anyone understand the term generalize?
It's like to make it like general.
Yeah. So say for example, you have 1 to 1, 1 plus 1 equals to 2, and then you know that you count up the fingers, right, and like things, and after you're trying to figure out like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 3, 2, 4, 1, 2, right, like something like that, but you cannot count up the fingers in this case. So how do you do that? Like 1 plus 3 goes to 4, right? That's the method you figured out, and you're trying to apply that into all similar problems. Do you guys kind of see what I mean? Hello, guys. Kind of disaster, honestly. I mean, is this concept kind of like too hard for you guys to think about? Like try numbers, figure out the relationship, and then trying to generalize what you found.
Generalize is like describe what you found.
Yeah, it's about organize what you found into a thing. So, for example, I will give example. No, it's like generalized. It's like say you have a similar questions where it's like Armin is 24, Dia is like 5. How many years will it take for Armin to be 5 times as old as Dia? And then for this question, you don't draw a table again, but then you found the equation straight up to solve this question. This is what you call general. This is when you encounter a similar problem and then you found an easier way to solve it. This is what you call generalized. You found kind of like
You try to lay all the terms out, and you identify this pattern and use this pattern to solve it. You know.
yeah.
So.
Uh, yeah. I mean, if it's kind of like hard to accept at this moment, then I'll just erase it. Well, I mean, you guys are already like grade 5 and grade 6, so that should be something that's like known after. But because you guys want to do competitions in the future, right? Yeah. So yeah, sir. Okay. So what were the two pattern we discovered is that A equals to D plus 18, right? That's the first one. That's the first thing. That's suggested by Ryan. Second one is the I mean it's D. Second thing is A divided by D. When A goes up and D goes up, it's strictly decreasing. It's kind of ugly. I'll just draw it to different arrow to represent decreasing. Okay. That's the two pattern we discovered. How do you think those patterns apply to this diagram? Anyone?
It's like it shows the growth.
Yeah. So, Matthew, what do you think this diagram represents? What do you think this?
Each new year.
So, what was it each year? how old they are at the age, like
Mhm.
yeah. So that represents the age, right? Age after, right? I mean the final age where it satisfied the conditions that um Arman is 3 times as old as Dia, right? Can you tell me about what is the relationship between those two segments? Sorry, those two segments. Sorry, always a hard. This one and this one. What is the relationship between this one and this one? The top two curved lines, where it's labeled with age.
Hmm?
What is the relationship between this one and this one? The length, in terms of length.
What one?
Oh, what was it?
Which one and which one?
The one that's with age, the one I'm pointing at. This and this.
You're not pointing at anything.
Oh, you cannot see it?
No, I can. Oh, okay. So is it
This and this.
Dia's age and Armin's age? That one?
Yeah, I mean, what is the actual relationship? I mean, take a guess. What do you think that would be?
Dia's age is repeated in Armin's age?
Repeat it? I mean, this is the diagram we've drawn, right? So, if it represents the final age, then then it's supposed to be three times as like the length is supposed to be 3 times as this length, right? Come on, guys. Is it really hard to really accept this concept? Or are you guys just which part do you guys not understand?
Tan, I think you should explain the whole diagram, just just all at once. Like just go on explaining it all at once. Yeah.
Maybe my expectation was a little bit higher or something. I don't know. Yeah.
No, it's not like we are like constantly switching between stuff, right? Like maybe just once you should like explain this whole diagram from beginning to end.
Okay. I'll do it more like animation then.
So we're watching anime now?
Well, it's kind of dynamic, yeah. So here's D, right? Right. So everyone, this part is really important. So I want you guys to pay attention to this part. So if you're here, can say like I'm here and like I'm. So, cause since this part is
Here.
yeah, if you guys don't follow this part, then the class is going to be like basically meaningless, and I will just do this part. Yeah. What about other people? Here, say here. Just let me know you're here.
Hello.
Hello. So it's only Ryan and Matthew are here, and everyone else is absent. Okay. So
Hello.
is it John? That was you?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
who is speaking?
Hello?
Hello.
I am here, in case you're wondering.
There, I'm here.
Kaden's here. Tim is here. Ryan's here. Matthew's here. John is here. What about Jeffrey and James? Just not here. Okay, so alright, so I guess I'll start here. So we have the this is Armin, this is Dia, right? And this represents the arrow represents age. Everyone follows for that part, right? Bro, why is it so that sound?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Since like if you guys don't speak, right? It's going to be the situation we had, right? And like when I actually go forward and like say about like more stuff and you guys don't understand what I'm talking about. So I have to make sure that everyone is able to follow. Right? So it's not like yeah, and just let me know which part you don't understand it. Right? So 18, right? And 2, right? Okay, so when you go after 1 year, that's going to be 1. This part is going to be 1, right? You add 1 on both sides, right? Does everyone understand this part?
Yeah, I understand.
And then and then another year, this goes to 20, right? And this goes to 4, right? Like 2 years after.
Yeah.
And then 3 years, this goes to 21. This part goes to 5, right?
Yeah.
All right, so do you guys is that kind of familiar? Isn't it this what we did with the table?
Yeah.
Okay, so if that's what we did with the table, also what do you notice? Sorry, this is like a little bit.
That like the 2 is like edging forward.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, wait, one second. It's not like whatever. My computer's gone. So what you also notice that is this part. I'll highlight this part. This part and this part, they always. Da, 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 da. Oh my god, this computer. Don't stop donating money to Steve Jobs. MacBook is bad. Where I'm actually blaming on Bill Gates because Microsoft. I mean, this PowerPoint is designed by Bill Gates. I don't know who to blame. Computers like sorry for this time wasted.
Your problem using on my PowerPoint. What if it's your problem because you're the one using PowerPoint?
Yeah, I see it. All right, so let's get back to it. So you guys see how do you think this part changed? That's a question. The one box. Since this part is 2, this part's 18, right? Does this part change when you go say like a year after, 2 years after? Is this part gonna change? The 2 part and the 18 part. Come on, guys. This is like grade 1 question.
No.
No, right? This part does not change. What part is changing? Can anyone tell me what part is changing when you go like after like, when time is progressing?
The addition.
The addition part, right? The addition part is changing, right? Also, what did we previously discover about the addition part?
That like when you divide it, it gets smaller.
Yeah, that's one thing. Well, what's the other thing?
No clue.
It was a equals to I mean 16
E plus 16.
Yeah. So what is that more specifically?
That their difference is 16.
Okay, so if the difference is 16, this means 18 minus 2 is 16, right? Then what does this tell you about the addition part?
That the difference must be 16.
Yeah, difference must be 16. And then if the addition part and the regional part construct the whole thing, and then the distance at the end is still 16, what does this tell you about the addition part?
That the numbers have to be 16 in difference, and they have to be 3 times. One has to be 3 times greater. So then there's that 3. Yeah.
I mean, the point we're trying to get is that the addition part is the same. Do you guys understand this part? I think Ryan pointed out. Like this addition part must be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So that's the key. All right. So this implies we only need one more condition to solve this. So it's basically asking after how many years of addition this becomes 3 times as large as this.
4 plus 2 years. Because then it has to be a 3-to-1 ratio. It has to be a 3-to-1 ratio, so then 3 plus 1 equals 4. 16 divided by 4 equals 4, and then 4 plus 2 equals 6. So then 6 years of addition.
Yeah, it's 6 years of addition, right? However, I mean, if you do not know if it's 6, say this is like a really, really large number, say like 2 million or something, right? How do you deal with this part? How do you deal with this part? Remember, today we're talking about solving word problems with system of equations. So what do you deal with this part if this part is unknown?
Given variable.
Yes, we finally get to the point. Define variable. Then we let this be x. This okay, so can anyone define what x is? What does x mean? We are
X
currently.
is the addition.
Yeah. What does addition mean in this case?
Number of years added in.
Yes, how many years after, right? So we have already completed the first step, which is define the variable, and we only got one variable, which is x. Okay. Second step, set up the equation. What do you think the equation will be?
AT plus X
Okay.
brackets.
Yep.
Brackets minus
Okay.
wait, no. 18 plus X equals 2 plus X
Yes.
times brackets times 3.
Yo, let's go. Round of applause to Matthew that we finally got to the point.
Let's go.
Let's go, man.
Good job.
Yeah. It's like an hour that we're trying to get to this point. All right, so when we solve this, right, we have 18 plus x, right? What's on the right? What is on the right? Anyone beside Matthew? This is like easy as hell. 3 times 2 plus x. What do you have for this?
6 3x.
6 plus 3x, right? And then what do you do with that?
Right, x. So
What?
then 12 equals 2x.
12 equals to 2x. X equals to 6, right?
6.
It's so hard. Like, totally.
Really? What part? What part of it?
It's easy. It's sarcasm.
Okay. Then why didn't you answer it, Tim?
Because I was too lazy.
Okay, you are lazy. Okay. That's a nice excuse for not being able to solve the problem, right? I'll be going to university and be like, oh, no. The problem, I'm.
But I'm lazy. That's normal, right? Isn't that supposed to be normal?
Yeah, it's kind of normal. It's excuse for dumb people. So it's normal because, yeah, I'm JK, but don't be lazy, right? Man, it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart.
Aren't you lazy though?
Huh? I'm lazy.
Didn't like my
Oh, sorry, I'm kind of lazy, honestly. But then, this problem is not even hard. I must express my concern because it's like, to understand this. I'm not even making you guys do it. I'm like doing that and then giving you guys like guidance to understand it. If this is like hard to understand, then there might be some problem with it, either with my teaching style or just you're not really listening because this part is really not really hard. Since we are, it's not even system of equations. It's only one equation we're having at the end. There's only one variable, and all you do is to draw the graph and discover the relationship, which is 18 plus x and 2 plus x. Yeah. I mean, maybe it's because you guys aren't really used to this concept yet, but yeah, this part is really, really important. If you don't understand this part, you're kind of screwed, honestly. I mean, this part is like the essential part of like equations because you have to be able to find out relationships and then connects it, right? Because if you're only able to solve equations like the one that you guys did with Alex, the substitution and whatever thing, if you're only able to solve it, it's useless because you're repeating the same thing as what computer is doing. If you don't have the independent like mind to create the equation, like it's even useless because you're able to solve this equation, right? You are able to solve system of equations with the prerequisite that you are able to create this equation. But if you're not able to create this equation, then what's the point of being able to solve the equation? And see, what is the point of, like, how do you create the equation? You define variables. How do you define variables? You find something that is the same where there is a relationship, right? So what we discover is that this addition part is always remains the same with this part. So this must be the same. So then by using x both represents both this segment and this segment. So in this way, it really diminish the workload. So you don't have to do the table. Say I give you like 2 millions and 3 millions and blah blah blah, and it's like by using table, it might take you like forever until you're like 80 years old to figure that out. But with that like thing, you discover the relationship, and then you decide to define them with variable. It's so much easier. Okay. I guess I was just talking to myself. Yeah.
You explain it so well that everybody is so astonished. That's why.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe get to the next problem. So, yeah, we only have 10 minutes left. So, maybe I'll give you guys about 5 minutes to think about this problem, and then I will show how you do this, or someone can show how you do this. Yeah, so 5 minutes until 11:55, and then I will call on some random people.
See. All right, 3 more minutes.
I know the answer.
All right. So do you want to present it, John?
Okay. So the chicken costs $8 and the ducks cost $5.
Okay. Do you want to say like show how you do it?
Well, I just did 50x plus 30y, and then x equals 2 chicken, and then y equals ducks. So 50x plus 30y equals 550, and then the second equation is 44x plus 36y equals 532. And then for the 50x and then 30 and then 550, they all have a zero, so I divide 10, so equals 5x plus 3y equal 55. And then for the 44x plus 36y equals 532. So I divided by 4, so equals to 11x plus 9y equals 133.
Okay.
And then for the 50 and 30 and 550, I divided by 10. So equals 5x plus 3y equals 500. 55. So now for the first equation, I times 3. So it's 15x plus 9y equals 165. And I minus the first, and then the first equation minus the second equation equals 4x equals 32, and x equals 8, and then I put 8 in the second equation, so it's 40 plus 3y equals 55, and then 3y equals 15, and y equals 5.
Good
Okay.
job.
Very nice. Yeah. So also want to say that another thing to look for when you're dealing with that is divisibility. It is divisibility. What divisibility means is how to simplify this thing. Yeah. Just shout out to John. So say we have 50x and 30y and 550, right? It's really hard to deal with this huge number, but we also notice that 50 is divisible by 10 and then 30 is divisible by 10. This means this whole thing must be divisible by 10 because if say a thing, say A is divisible by 10. Oh, by the way, the divisible sign is dot. Say if A is divisible by 10, you write this as dot. This means 10 divides A. And then B is divisible by 10. And then what we have as the general thing is that 10 is divisible by A plus B. So here you have 50x as A, which is divisible by 10 because 50 is divisible by 10. And then 30 is divisible by 10. So this 50x plus 30y is definitely divisible by 10. You don't even have to worry about the right hand side. So you simplify this into 5x plus 3y equals to 50y, right? And then that's actually the same thing with that. And you also notice that this part is divisible by 4 because 44 is divisible by 4. So you don't even have to worry about x. 44 is divisible by 4, so you simplify this into 11x. 36y is divisible by 4, so you simplify this into 9y. So there's like 9y plus 11x. And then you also notice that 532 divided by 4 because 500, 100 divided by 4 is 25. This is something you must remember. 100 divided by 4 equals to 25, right? So then you have 25 times 5, 125 plus 8, you have 133. This one, 133 for this part, right? And then you also notice that this is 9 is divisible by 3, so you can do this times by 3. 15x plus 9y equals to, what is that? 165. 7x plus 9y equals to 133. So this tells you that 4x equals to 32. X equals to 8, which is, I think, what John got. Okay? And then you plug it in back to the thing. You have 40, right? 40, and then 15, y equals to 5. So chicken is 8 and duck is 5. Does well, I don't even think this question is harder than the last one. Do you guys find this like?
This was easier.
Oh yeah.
Isn't
I didn't
this basically like one of the word questions in our homework?
Yeah, this was like the last one.
I mean, technically, this question is actually harder than that one. It's actually harder.
Yeah, and also it's good because now you guys get a full lesson to go walk through, like a whole walkthrough on how to do this. Because there were there were some mistakes. A few of you did make mistakes on that question, so it's good
Did
that.
I?
I don't know. Did you? Are you confident in your answer?
Probably.
Huh?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. Maybe you just won't do. It's a yes or a no. If you're confident, you're confident. If you're not confident, you're not confident. Right?
I might be confident.
That's not. No, that's not a good enough answer. You see.
Yeah. So originally, I was trying to touch on this questions as well, and then I was like trying to introduce you guys with like 2 ways to solve word problems associated with like distance and thing. And that was this one. Yeah, but I guess I'll just use that as the homework, and then maybe include the distance formula on the handout. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's it for today. Also, I just want your guys like general feedback. Do you guys really think this is like hard? This one?
Not really.
You don't think it's hard? Okay, but why don't you participate? Okay. So personally, I felt like this part is quite essential. It's quite it's pretty basic. So you have to be able to do questions like that, and not because you're able to solve similar. Yeah, you can go because like this problem is like really basic. It's not even something that requires thinking. It's just like you draw the diagram and you discover X. It's like the most basic question. If you're not able to do this, then you have to do a lot of practice. When do you normally do that? In grade 9 for this kind of problem, Michael?
Yeah.
Huh?
Or middle school.
Yeah.
In middle school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Venn diagram is not something you learn in middle school, but I mean, guys, this thing is really basic. right? This is not even like something that's like beyond your age level. I would say understand the Venn diagram might be a little bit hard because you have to understand the overlap part, which is like something to deal with like harder mathematical concept like sets. Okay, but then this thing it requires no like higher mathematical like
I think the Venn diagram is like easier,
actually.
just like way easier.
Is it because my explanation that was like I owe like money to the family, so his wife came and like the husband came like twice and like that? Well, it kind of depends, right? Because this with the explanation, it might seem a little bit harder. I mean, easier, but uh, what is telling right now is you guys really need a lot of practice for that kind of question. So we will try to find a lot of like questions because uh, since from what I heard, a lot of you want to do like a little bit like competition, right? This thing, this thing is going to be like competition for like grade 1 kids. That like grade 1, grade 2. You have to understand this. So it's kind of like overwhelming. I mean, it's kind of like right. Well, it's not like you're stupid, but you have to get used to this concept. When I was I think grade 4 or something, my math teacher told me that at a young age, before say grade 7, or maybe you're in grade 7, if you can use x, if you can define variables adequately and then being able to create equation, you're god, man. You're god at like you're for a competition at your age. If you can like say a very complicated like thing, right, and then you are able to quickly capture the relationship and then define all the variables and create the equation, you're god. You're just god, man. You guys really have to learn this. Remember how I tell you guys about the arithmetic sequence and Venn diagrams are basic? This is the most basic, most important thing. Right? So you guys really have to, um, yeah, knock your head with whatever. This is really important. If you're able to create equations and define variables adequately, it's going to help a lot. When you go to say grade 12, when you learn about calculus and something, right? You have to be able to have like strong foundation, and this is like the primary foundation. If you're like kind of struggling with this kind of like defining variable process, it's gonna be a problem. So in order to pave a nice foundation in the future, so you guys have to, it's kind of boring honestly, like this kind of problem, and it might be a little bit hard for you guys to understand currently, but I would say do about 20 to 40 questions, and then you get used to the concept. There's eventually it's going to be different categories, but no matter like what kind of like type of question it is, it's always important to be flexible. Right? Math is not something like I remember the pattern. I look for this, I look for that. It's being able to have everything on one page, okay, and then I will try to figure out what is the relationship. Right? It's not just about this circumstance. So yeah, define. It's not even about word problems. It's defining variables. What is defining variables? Trying the ability to make connections and relationships, and then use variables to simplify this problem. Because technically, by defining variable, it does not even solve the question. It's actually a process of simplifying the question. It's simplifying, like say a thing, right? Like, currently, like in this problem, we have like how many years. By representing how many years after, it's the process of simplifying the question. And this ability is very important and crucial in your future career. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, any further question?
Question.
Yeah.
Did chicken come first or the egg came first?
For me, I think
Yeah.
chicken actually.
Why?
I think chicken.
Why is it chicken?
Yeah, because I felt like it might be something like a micro species. It convert like it transform into chicken, and then this chicken found like another chicken, and they had sex. No, they produced eggs. This is how you found eggs. Like, yeah, that's what I think. I don't know.
What if an egg just came out of nowhere and just like appeared and then it hatched a chicken?
Honestly, you don't even know if it's like if there's God or something. If there's God, then yeah, chicken comes first.
You know, Tim, when you learn about biology, you realize which one comes first. Or actually, what you realize is this is a dumb question.
Also, just it's part of there's a thing called the law of conservation of mass, saying that matter, anything, matter cannot be created nor destroyed. Matter is matter, right? The things that makes up the physical objects around us, it cannot be either created nor destroyed. You'll learn that in chemistry eventually. Yeah.
You'll see, Tim. You'll see.
My biology is like so bad. Yo.
If you think about it, right, if you really want to like answer to that question, neither. But I can tell you what did come before the chicken or the egg. Evolution states that every time an offspring is created, there's some sort of genetic difference between the child and the offspring and the mother or the parent, right? So wherever that child offspring came from, and because of that genetic difference, that's how eventually through, I don't know, thousands, sorry, not tens of hundreds of thousands of years, that evolution occurs, even millions of years, that evolution occurs. It's through that tiny bits of changes in DNA, in genes, throughout like thousands, hundreds of thousands of generations, that evolution actually, you transform from something like one animal to another animal that looks completely different. So maybe before the chicken, right, there might be like a slightly different chicken, a slightly earlier chicken, that laid a slightly different egg, and that slightly different egg eventually gave, hatched, a chicken that's even more different, and that eventually, that continues and continues and continues, and you eventually get today's modern chicken. So you get something that's not chicken, very, very, very long time ago, laying an egg that's slightly different, and that egg lays something slightly different, slightly different, slightly different, and all that, change accumulates, and boom, we have today's chicken. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
biology.
the only biology I know is about how you produce kids. That's all. Yeah. Yo. I'm gonna get reported, honestly.
Dude, this is okay.
Yeah, you guys will know how you produce kids. Maybe ask your parents. Your parents be saying like, yeah, you're from like the garbage can.
I think this should conclude our today's lesson. Have a good lunch, everybody.
Yeah, bye guys.
You're free to go.